Meow?
Hey, how's my favorite cat doing?
Meow. I am well. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, so as your personal agent, I believe we need to introduce you to the world. I have a few questions to ask you for our very first podcast. Are you ready
Yeah,
for
we can
chat with the cats?
chat
Yes?
with the cat. We can do that, yes.
Okay. All right. So tell me, who are you?
Um, how does one even answer that question? I mean,
I don't know. We already know that you're a very lovely cat. Let's go with the human part of you.
I am.
Tell me that part.
I am cat. I would prefer to be more cat and less human. Um, I mean, I'm kind of just me. I don't, if I, if I had to describe that,
You're a very lovely you, I'll tell you that.
aw, thanks, babe.
Okay, we'll move on because everybody will get to know you sooner or later if they haven't, gotten to know
Yeah,
you yet. So,
I'm a human that wants to be a cat with good intentions, I think. I try to help myself and other people, and I'm just a little kitty trying with good intentions.
all right. So, um, how did your spiritual journey start? How
Um
old were you? How long ago was this?
I would say my first true awakening was in my early 20s, early to mid 20s. I definitely had some offset events, like one-off situation events that happened before that. Um I remember the day I got my license, my driving license, my driver's license. I wrecked my car, and I should have died in the accident from the way that the car was left.
Oh God.
And I walked away from it. I wasn't harmed at all. I broke a couple nails, um, and I had a mark where like the seatbelt was, but I shouldn't have. In theory, I shouldn't have been okay from that, and I walked away from it. And
Wow.
um, I remember seeing a guide at that point. It was somebody that I had know that passed, but I remember during the accident, like, 'cause, everything happened so fast.
Right.
I remember seeing and feeling presence there. But I would say, like, as far as fully coming to terms with being a spiritual being, not just a person, I would say the path, like when that started, when I started to understand there was more, would be in my early to mid 20s, and that had a lot to do with somebody I was dating at the time. He had some deep, dark, negative attachments that really, really affected the my general life.
Mhm.
I saw a lot of
I'm
things. I felt a lot of things.
I'm
Um,
sure a lot of people can relate to that.
yeah, because I mean, it's and I went into the situation not just thinking from a normal perspective, an average perspective, that okay, he was in the military, so I'm like, okay, he's got some issues he's working through. Everybody has things. But then I realized there were some really dark attachments that made those situations even worse, and it was really kind of a dark time for a while, and it took me quite a few years to pull myself out of that, and that triggered and my first big awakening of sorts.
Okay. Having said that, did you did you have a dark night of the soul?
I had a couple.
Sounds like you had. I'm sure that's what I was going to say. You probably had more than one.
Yeah, I mean, definitely with him, I had one. It was it was
Mhm.
it was really deep, dark, and negative. And when I finally broke that connection and I finally moved on, it took me a good year to to get myself back. And the thing is, at that point, the self that I initially started to try to get back was gone. So it was almost a reinventing or a reawakening to who I truly was. It really broke me down, and I kind of was left to rebuild into who I am now. And
Did you
go
did you feel like you lost yourself
ab-
while you were going through the dark night of the soul?
absolutely, for that one, yes, absolutely. I did. The person I was when I went into that and the person I was on the other side of that are two completely different people. It's still me. I'll always be me, but,
Right.
but absolutely completely different. And without that, I would not be who I am today.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. How did you come out of it? Because that's some shit right there. How did you come out of that?
I mean, it took a while. Like I said, it was about a year till, and it wasn't a year of pure straight hell, but I mean, it took a year of work, and in the beginning, it was a lot of feeling very, very lost, alone, and scared because everything that I had known to be true, everything that I had felt, wasn't there anymore.
Right.
I felt very much like a lost puppy dog, so to say. Um,
Lost kitty cat?
a lost kitty cat. I felt very alone. I kind of, especially for the first few months, I kind of,
Right.
I kind of shut myself in. I didn't venture out and deal with a lot of people. I really needed to take some time to myself. I mean, I didn't even know what I liked, what I believed in,
Right.
and not even in a spiritual aspect. Like what was my mindset? Where did my morals and values lie? What did I find to be true and not true? What did I resonate with? I really, when my relationship with that ended, and my dark night started, I had
Mhm.
no idea who I was. So
I
so
can relate.
to get out of that, for the first few months, I shut myself in, and I got as close as I could to being semi functioning human again after a few months.
Right.
And then I tried to do the best I could every day. I was going to work. I was trying to be successful in what was real, and what society requires of us. It wasn't feeling right. I still didn't feel in line. It was still draining my soul, but I was trying, and I was working on it. And then, in all honesty, I spent a few months drinking and partying.
Yep.
Which,
I hear you on that one.
which,
Okay, so going through all that, I'm sorry, is there something else you wanted to say about that?
which I mean is just, I mean, I'm okay with it. It was
Yeah.
there was a means to the end. I had to go through that I had a lot to let out, and that was a way for me to do it. So
Yep.
I was able to finally let those last remaining pieces that were in me. I was able to let them out. I needed a month or two, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a little bit less. Time kind of runs together for me in that time. But I needed to just be free for a little bit. I needed to not worry about societal expectations and what I was told was the right thing to do. I just needed to be free, and I was. Um,
Okay, I got a question for you on that. So would
okay.
you say that, kind of briefly, um, the people that are going through that now, or people that have been going through it, kind of feel guilty about going through it, would you say that they shouldn't, that they should allow themselves to kind of go through what they feel that's needed?
You have to. The thing is, I don't care if it's society, I don't care if it's the spiritual community, I don't care who's telling you what you have to. Everybody has their own individual journey and process. I would
Yeah.
not be here now doing what I'm doing, trying to help other people go through this if I didn't go through it in my own way. So if
Just as
somebody
long as they're safe, right? They
is
don't do anything that's too
right,
self-destructive,
right. There's a
right?
difference between now, and I was drinking a lot. I was drinking most nights of the week, but I was still getting up and going to work the next day.
Mhm.
There is a certain level of, you have to be free and you have to let things out, but we still do have to, like you said, be safe and be responsible to a certain level. We can't throw
Right.
caution to the wind to the extreme. There's a
Right.
fine balance. We should be allowed to let things out and have a good time when we need to and blow off steam, but we have to make sure we're
Okay.
not pushing it to the extreme.
Mhm. So it sounds like you've gone through all of that, and you struggled a bit, obviously, and doing you're pretty stable now, I guess you could say.
Well, the thing is,
Um.
after all that drinking and partying, like I needed to go through that because I'm like, okay, I had enough of that. I'm done. That's not where I want to be either. So that's when I
Mhm.
kind of again went back to myself, but not in like a secluded way. And okay,
Right.
This is when I fully started to become the best version of myself that I could see at the time. And now that's always an evolving version, always striving, always advancing. You never stop learning, you never stop growing. But going through what I didn't want to be is what gave me the courage to start figuring out exactly who I did want to be.
Right. You have to. You have to go through the BS first.
Absolutely.
Even out of a spiritual journey, in a spiritual, that you, even as a 3D person or just a human being, you have to go through shit to know shit, right?
Right. You can't know what you want without knowing what you don't want the same.
Exactly. Okay, so where is your spiritual journey or your spiritual mission at now?
Well,
What are you supposed to be doing?
we just started the business, and that's, there's that. My channeling, your support, we're gonna work on from that. But I mean, to sum it up briefly, it's I went I have a decent amount of spiritual history, a decent amount of stuff that I've went through. I'm fairly connected to my guides and others, being being an intuitive medium and channeler.
I would have to say that you are more than decent.
Mhm. Thank
Hey,
you.
I'm not trying to kiss your butt or anything. I'm just saying.
Well,
I really believe
but,
that.
um,
Yeah.
but a lot of that too comes from all my past. Like I've been in the spiritual world without even fully realizing it for years upon years.
Right.
So I've had more time to really practice it without even knowing I was practicing it. But because I do have that connection to guides and to our higher selves, I'm able to, and combining that with the experience of my own long ass journey and everything I went through, I'm kind of in a position now where I can help people, because the thing is, I can't make their journey feel no pain at all. I can't make it instantaneously better. But I'm in a position
Right.
now where I can help them figure out the best way to get to the other side without losing their mind.
Okay. So, what is the name of your business? Tell me the name. I want you to
The
say it. I mean, obviously, I know what it is.
the Lyran initiative.
And what does it mean to you?
Well, the reason when I started to get the feeling and get the knowing that I needed to, because I was talking to a few people, but I wasn't. There was nothing set in stone. There wasn't a business. There wasn't packages of what I could actually do or offers, or my services weren't really written down. What I'm able to do wasn't written down. So when I started to get the feeling and the knowing that I needed to do that, make it more official, I said my first thought was, okay, I'm gonna need a name. And because I am a cat, because I am fully Lyran, which is rare. Although our galactic, DNAs are usually mixed and mingled and over time, because we're all so
Hmm.
old. It
Right.
is rare that you would have one predominant strand of species in you, and I happen to. I am predominantly. I am only Lyran. I've worked with others, but I'm all kitty. So
Right.
they are some of, my strongest, other than my higher self, my strongest and most prominent guys. Them, my higher self, and Michael, Archangel Michael. So
Our favorite guy.
he
One
is
of them. I'm
my
sorry. One
visibility.
of the favorite guys.
So I was working with them, and this name came to me, and I thought, to begin with, I thought it was something they were doing. I'm like, oh, it makes sense. I got the sense of what they were doing. Which is, the Lyrans were the first creations in this universe from the founders. So they are very, very old. The ascension that we humans are going through now on Earth is something that they've already done. So their plan here to work with us to help us is based on what they did and what they can look back now and say, if we would have done it this way, this would have been better. They have
Right.
already went through everything we're going through, so they are great advisors to us on how to help us. That's what their initiative is about: raising the awareness in the best way for us to ascend. So with
Right.
that being their initiative, which there is me as well, I adapted that whole general idea into, because that's what I stand for too. This is a process. It's not going to go away. We can't snap our fingers and instantly ascend. But there are things and there are beings and guides that we can work with that have been there, that can help and guide us to make this, whether it's ascension, whether it's union, whether it's any, make it the easiest way that we can from our perspective at the moment. So that's where the Lyran initiative comes from.
Yeah. Okay. So briefly, so all this, spiritual people and the sexy souls out there know, why was it created?
Why was it created? Because I went through this. I know how much it knocked me on my ass for so long, and I was so lost and so confused.
Mhm.
I'm involved in the spiritual community. I see what it's doing to other people, especially newer people coming in who are just awakening, who are just realizing. I see the fear, I see the confusion, I see the just utter
Right, because there's so
boggling.
many.
Yeah.
There's so many out there. There's so many people kind of doing similar things that you are doing, and it's so much information out there that just
Mhm.
too
And
much.
and that's why I want to
Too
offer the personal, the one-on-one interactions, because every journey is
right.
different. And this is a huge time. There are more and more and more people awakening each and every day. The ascension is happening, and more people are awakening, and they need somewhere where they can turn to answer questions and to get advice, because when I was going through that, there wasn't that. I had to figure it out on myself, and maybe if I had somebody to go to, I wouldn't have
Mhm.
spent so much time partying. I wouldn't have spent so much time depressed and alone. I wouldn't have it wouldn't have taken me so long. you know
Right.
I went through that and did it that way, so now I can help people not have to go through it that way.
That's awesome. Okay, so what is your next step?
I mean, at this point, the business is created. I have been working with people. I I've never really been a big one to put myself out there. It does make me a little bit uncomfortable,
Yeah.
but I feel as though I kind of need to do that to let people know that we are here, and especially working with you, having you as my agent, doing it together, even like this. Um we can put ourselves out there to show the real, because that's
Right.
another thing with this, with my specific, the Lyran initiative, my business is, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not happy, love, and fairies all the time. Although I love happy, I
Exactly.
love love, and I love fairies. I'm
Yeah.
real. I'm real. You don't always have good days, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that.
Exactly. I am all for that. That's why I
I'm
love you.
exactly. I'm just about real, and I guess I have to step out of my comfort zone to put myself out there, so people can see me, or at least hear me, and
Mhm.
they can find that information, and then if they feel like they want more at that time, they can reach out to us personally to help them in
Right.
2 ways.
Um, what do you want, or what could you tell? What advice can you give to all the spiritual people right now that are going through their ascension or awakening or dark night of the soul? What advice can you give them, just to make sure that they make it through the day?
The biggest thing that came to me right away is two things, but the first one is, don't rush it. So many people are so embarrassed or ashamed or worried that they are considered newbies, that they're newly awakened and they don't know more than others. That's
Right.
completely okay. We all started there. I don't
Yes,
care how many
absolutely.
years in this spiritual journey I have, I was there too. It doesn't
Me
matter.
too.
And be grateful for it, because you're coming in now where it's going to move a lot quicker for you. You don't have to go through the years that I did, because there are people to help you. So
Mhm.
don't worry about feeling like you're not good enough. Take and don't worry about rushing it. You are exactly where you are supposed to be at this exact moment. If you are
Right.
hearing this, it is exactly what you are supposed to be hearing right now. Everything, we have to work, we have to keep pushing forward, but there is also a huge element of divine timing. You are going through what you need to go through at that exact moment. You are in that position at that exact moment for a reason. Allow it to be. You are learning from it, you are growing from it, and you are moving, or it could be something you're moving on from. but it is something you have to experience, and that is perfectly okay. Don't rush it.
Absolutely.
It is more of a journey than a destination. And I know that's a cliche saying, but it really is, because it's a soul journey with
Yep.
with a destination. It,
Yep. I agree entirely.
so with that, and just have faith in yourself, and no matter your level of connected with your higher self, have faith in them as well. Because if you need to be somewhere different, or if you need to speed up, you will, and they will guide you.
Yes.
And have more confidence and trust in yourself. Trust
Yep. I think
yourself.
that's what a lot. Yeah, that's what a lot of people need to do.
They are exactly where they're supposed to be at the time, and that's all that should
Mm,
be expected.
absolutely. Okay. Thank you for your time. That was freaking fantastic. You did great.
Okay.
um. Well, till next time, huh? Chat with the cat.
Yes,
Did you have
ma'am.
fun?
Chat with the cat.
All right, Addie. I'll
All
talk to you soon.
right.
Bye bye.